Well, hey everyone, welcome back to the Scallywag channel here. Mike and I just wanted to give you guys sort of a mechanical update on our engine that we have pulled out of One Ocean.
Yeah, it's a thing. So when they bought the boat for this expedition, we had talked about replacing the engine.
Right.
Because it needed transmission work. And it had 8,400 hours on it.
Yeah, almost 8,500 hours, which, you know, for many recreational boaters, you're going, oh my God, the engine's ancient. But honestly, in the commercial world, it's really not that much. So we started looking at options, and finding engines that would work for us was kind of becoming an issue, as well as funding is always an issue.
Yeah. A new 150 horsepower engine, they're about 6 inches too long.
Right.
They want to move the bulkhead. And cost, you know, we're looking at what, $40,000 or something.
And just availability. Can you even find the one that you need? So we started really reconsidering, like, hey, well, what about maybe just checking this thing out, potentially doing a rebuild, or making this one work somehow. And again, like Mike said, the big trouble with this one was the transmission. It had failed 2 oil analyses, right?
It did.
It was still functioning, but it was not functioning well.
No, it was very noisy, and it did make a shakedown trip. And so they did oil analysis on both the engine and the gear when they bought it, and which is what due diligence.
Absolutely, yeah.
Engine came out perfect. It had 200 hours on the oil change, a little under, and they have maintenance records. It's been taken care of.
Mm-hmm.
So, but the gear failed. They ran it, flushed it, the gear still failed. And which, when they took it apart, it did have a failed input shaft and a couple of bearings.
Input shaft was trash, bearings needed help. So long story short, we've got the old transmission now almost new. It's rebuilt by Harbor Marine, thanks to Mike and the crew down there. Those guys are awesome for any transmission needs. They've saved my butt in Alaska many times.
All right, so gentlemen, what are we doing today? I see you've been tearing apart.
Yeah, we took off the exhaust manifold, which is also the heat exchanger, and we're moving the transmission right now because we know it's making noise.
Making noise. How'd the oil look? Black.
Yeah, fairly dark.
Fairly dark. It's a beefy transmission, though.
It is.
I like this. A little soft shackle.
That's right.
3-ton lift. You think is that rated for this transmission? You think?
I hope so.
6,000.
We'll find out.
Yeah. Look at that organization. Sweet.
Clean, organized.
Probably gonna need something, Professor. What's going on today in your lab?
Lower unit maintenance, R&R. We've got some students some of the last ones left, of course, chose the Mercury, which is the extra challenging because it has the shift shaft going all the way up into the head of the beast.
Nice.
Gets them every time. Excellent, authentic learning.
Look at that.
Tons of fun.
Tons of fun.
Pressure testing, lower units, all that stuff.
Well, all the while we're getting this gearbox off, in theory.
Yeah, actually, she's not bolted anymore, so.
Which is theory is where I spent a good chunk of my life.
You need a bigger hammer.
That's right. Where's Art?
Started with a hammer yet.
Making sure we got all the bolts out first.
Good call.
Yep, she's clear.
I think Professor's coming with a little dead blow. There we go.
Yeah.
Give it a little love tap. There you go.
Line's walking.
There we go.
Oh yeah, she's gonna move.
She's starting to move.
There we go.
Ooh, look at that.
She's hanging, baby.
Swing free.
There you go, Ian. And there should be some pallets sitting out there.
Out there somewhere.
What's the drive plate look?
Well, I don't see broken springs necessarily.
You've got pieces missing compared to some of them. I don't know.
Feel how loose that is?
Oh yeah, well you know.
See, this is how it's supposed to feel. That one's frag.
This one's bad.
That one's bad. That one feels loose.
Yeah.
That one's good.
That was definitely making some noise, part of it.
So new drive plate.
Definitely, anytime you rebuild the tranny, you're doing the drive plate. Harbor Marine, thank you guys. They'll be giving this a little bit of a workover.
Look, they're actually different springs.
We did the initial oil analysis. They did another shakedown cruise to Hawaii and back.
Right.
Put another 100 and some hours on the old girl and used like a quart of oil in 300 and some hours. We did another oil sample.
Right.
Passed the flying colors, all greens. And
Yep.
so we started saying, we think this engine might be good for the long haul.
Absolutely.
Okay, look at this. This is just nuts. We are cleaning, painting, disassembling the engine. We got all our new parts. to put it back together. It was just frightening. They went to Haida Gwaii and back, did 1,000 miles on this boat shakedown. But most of that was sailing, but they did 100 and some hours, 150 hours of motoring on this after they bought it from the yacht broker and stuff. And he ordered a new water pump because we saw some goop on the alternator bracket, on the high output alternator. And I don't know, there was some JB weld, what was holding this thing on. It was broken. The water pump housing was broken, and the bolt that was holding the whole bracket on was in about 1.5 threads. That was all that was holding that alternator for the last 100 hours or whatever of operation. It's crazy. They would have been dead in the water. But there we go. One more thing to replace.
Absolutely. And the thing is, I mean, the big concern with any of these marine engines, right, it's more than hours, is essentially corrosion, right? Because we're running the salt water through all the coolers. So one of the biggest issues that we were, kind of potentially facing was, hey, can we take off the after cooler, the heat exchanger, etc., actually get them apart to service them? And that's usually where you start running into roadblocks. If you can't get things apart, or even finding those parts can be difficult.
Yes. So the after cooler here, the students took this all apart, and the end cover, absolutely beautiful.
But seriously, one of the lucky someone. They obviously, like Mike said, were keeping up on service. So core slid right out of that after cooler, which we pretty much never see. Same exact thing with the heat exchanger.
The heat exchanger right here, and your the thing is,
pulling these bad boys out can be an act of God sometimes.
Well, and they corrode, right?
Right.
The O-ring.
That's it, and that's usually kind of the death of the situation is. If the O-ring fails and you go too long without a service, it corrodes right on the housing. Well, now you're buying a new housing. Actually, if you can find it.
Can't find it.
Yeah.
I looked up this yen. It's a 4LH, and they can get us all sorts of parts for it except this housing not available.
That was a no-go. So we were like, hopefully it'll be okay. Totally lucked out. It looks great.
And we did.
Tim did a nice. I think he did just a salt away bath. It honestly didn't need it. It looked pretty clean.
Yeah, so we got that all dialed in and in good shape. This was that whole drive plate with broken springs and the splines were all messed up.
Yeah, the rattly springs. Anytime you pull or change a transmission, it's usually a good idea, because it's probably been a while since it's been off, to go ahead and do a thorough inspection of the drive plate, or just go ahead and replace it. And like Mike said, this one was rattly, brand new. Beautiful. Very nice. So that's going on. New exhaust elbow?
Yeah, HDI. So this thing had major work done 15 years ago. And so this has some evidence of corrosion, and they corrode from the inside out. So we don't know. So this is still an aftermarket available from HDI. So we have a new one of these coming.
And that one probably would have been fine, but it's like better safe than sorry. HDI is pretty good price.
Well, the stats from last time in 2009 when they did this around the Americas, the big scientific expedition, they did put thousands of hours on the engine. Even though we're in a 50-foot Bob Perry custom Ketch.
Right.
The Northwest Passage is known for calms and not
Light
a lot of
winds,
wind, and so we need to motor, and so we need to rely on this thing. And so with that being said, that's what we did. And actually the Yanmar, when they rebuilt the gear and we said, 8,000 hours, they said this engine is typically good for at least 15,000. They said this transmission overhaul will get another, this engine should do another 8,000 hours.
Right.
So
exactly.
We're happy about that. There were some other little details that were interesting. The motor mounts didn't look too good. Beauty of this thing was that cockpit floor came out, so it was pretty easy to remove the engine.
Yeah, absolutely.
Trying to do this level of work in the boat would have been difficult, tight to say the least.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not sure what exactly was holding the engine down other than gravity.
Yeah, gravity.
So
mounts another, and those are what, 15 years old at least, probably.
At least. So
they just don't last forever. So replacing mounts, we're doing that. Starter was still working fine, but it did kind of look a little crusty.
Well, and the stud was all stripped out.
Right.
So somebody had jimmied an extra washer and stuff on it.
That's what happens. Yeah, the B post.
But what we did is, because once again super remote and we're going over the top with parts and spares, we bought 2 starters. This one we put on, made sure it worked, it fit, the engine rolled over, we took it out, we're going to put this one in a box, we marked it spare, tested on November 13th, and then we got another brand new one that'll go on after, of course, we do a nice little paint job.
Yeah, a little custom Marine Tech Pro paint job here with some rattle cans. We got a color that's really going to be perfectly close to Yanmar
gray.
metallic. Yes, excellent. The other thing is, so we were like, let's go with it. This is going to work.
Well, before we said yes, your crew did some nice.
We wanted to look at a little closer. Yeah, so we got new injectors on the way as well. The old ones were definitely a little long in the tooth. We sent them up to the diesel pump shop nearby. They checked the injectors. They said none of them were really atomizing properly.
Yeah, just squirting.
So we got new injectors coming. With one of the old ones, we welded on a little air adapter here, pinched off and sealed the pipe so that we were able to do compression testing and also cylinder leak down testing.
Any predictions?
Well, I'll go 475.
Wait, and what did I say?
375.
445.
You said
445 is good.
425.
Do we even know, Professor, what this should be?
Oh, hell no. I have no idea.
You know, I have a workshop manual somewhere.
North of 4.
North of 4.
You know, like, okay, so...
Under 3 is toast.
Under 3 is not good.
Okay.
Like an old gnarly Perkins, I think you're usually mid 3s-ish. Smaller Yanmars, same thing, high 3s maybe. We're going 450, 451.
445.
You camped on me, did you?
What was
Okay.
it, 450?
450.
Yeah, perfect. 451.
Yes, I am.
I don't think you should be standing right in front of it, should you?
Well, I'm not worried about it. I just don't want to ruin the shot. I mean, no, I'm kidding. All right, we ready?
We're ready. Here, I'm
All
gonna
right,
turn
here
it.
we
You
go.
want to get this in here?
Oh, okay.
It's gonna be a secret for Ketch.
350, yeah, baby, go. 350-ish?
350, 340.
Well, I don't like that though, you
Hey, now,
guys.
Wait.
It is
It's
freaking totally cold.
Totally cold,
No
totally
oil on the
dry.
rings. Our next one we'll do a wet. I bet it'll come up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Still filming. We're good.
You ready?
Oh, I think we are so ready.
All right, here we
Cylinder
go.
number 3.
$390.
390.
400.
400.
400. Okay, that's
Hey, hey. Hi, Bodie.
On the cylinders. So that gave us a really good idea of essentially, you know, internal health. So we had really fair to good compression levels. They were even across the 4 cylinders, and that's what you're looking for. The leak down test was basically great on all of them. No signs of valves leaking or, you know, gosh forbid, a head gasket. So that was fantastic.
And then you and your crew lifted up the skirt, put the little
We put the endoscope, right? We used a
Endoscope
little
in.
inspection camera, got in there. We have some footage that we'll add into this video.
What are you doing here, Professor?
Pretty good resolution, right?
What are you doing?
We are using this here nifty Amazon borescope to look at the engine. There's the top of the piston. You probably can't see it on yours very well. But check it out. I can do a 180. Let me go all the way down. And let's look up top at, what am I looking at?
The bottoms of the valves.
You can see the valves. Yeah, hang on. Let me see. There's a valve. There's the other one. Check that out.
Wow, that's amazing resolution.
It is actually.
I don't see a lot of carbon. We're looking for any streaking in the cylinders, see if the tree lines or anything.
Right, or hideous cracks or things like that.
Yeah. Gonna give this thing a clean bill of health, I think.
I think that's the plan. It's pretty cool being able to go down into the cylinder and turn around and actually look up at the valves, and we saw, you know,
Cross-hatching.
Cross-hatching looked good on the sides. Didn't see any, you know, bad streaking.
No scraping.
No scraping, and so that just makes, I think, everybody, especially those of you guys that are actually going on this trip, feel a little warm and fuzzy.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly. I'd
So-
like to know that it's in good shape. It was missing. One of the studs had fallen off from the exhaust manifold.
Yeah,
right
it
there.
had a little exhaust leak, and that's the other thing we're doing is basically new gaskets on everything.
Everything they're ordered.
Yep.
They're going to be in the end of this week, first part of next
Yep.
week with the motor mount. So we're doing all the rubber bits, all the custom factory hoses.
Yep.
All the gaskets. We're doing the fresh and seawater pumps at the same time. Next week we'll get the high pressure pump back. It had some wear and some things they want to deal with, but same thing. Even though it's a 30-year-old design, they could get all the parts for it.
Yeah,
So we're gonna
excellent.
put that back on and all the new injectors, and I think this thing's going to push us around the Americas nicely.
I'm fully confident
It's
it'll push
super
this
smooth
around the
and
Americas.
quiet. Like nobody on the boat complained about the engine.
Yeah.
We thought it was great.
Well, with
So
the new insulation that you've got going into the room, is the engine room as well. It's going to be a
even
dream
better.
ride. So
A dream ride.
So all is looking good here. We're pushing forward, busy as heck. We're just buried in projects and engines, but
We're going to paint it, put it together with all these new parts, and put it back in the boat.
yep, absolutely.
So we got to go for a boat ride in the new year.
Absolutely. So
Thanks for watching, everyone.
Okay, see what happens.
What do you think, Mr. Mark, Captain?
Well, I'm happy. This is the heart of one ocean. This is what gets us through the Northwest Passage. Not much wind there, lots of ice. If you don't get through, you stay a year. So the engine came out beautifully. It's now going to get all tidied up. It's going to get new parts. We're going to change a couple of things. We're going to make sure that we have spares. But the oil analysis for this engine was good. It has a lot of hours on it, but it's good for a lot more. Very happy about this.
Welcome to the Scallywags, located in the beautiful Pacific Northwest, where Skagit Valley College has been training technicians since 1968. If you are looking for industry certification and the skills to work in maritime, this is the place to visit. Our staff will share so much knowledge and experience, you will not be disappointed. The workforce demand is very high and all of our graduates are working around the world. If this sounds interesting to you, schedule a tour and come check us out.